Live from James C. Fox Field, you're watching Game 2 of the opening round series between the 1 seed Lynchburg and 8 seed Eastern Mennonite here on LHSN. TJ Wingert here to take you through all the fun. It was a resounding win in Game 1 for Lynchburg, 18-0 final scores. We show you some of the stats coming into today's contest, updated from yesterday's 18-0 win for Lynchburg. This is a win-or-go-home setting for the Royals, who were actually the home team here in Game 2 due to the ODAC postseason format. So we start today's contest with EMU sending out their starting arm Adrian Abod to the bump to get us underway. Abod will get start number 2 of the season, and all told appearance number 17. 1-2 record during the regular season, 26 2/3 innings tossed, 26 strikeouts to 12 walks. So big spot here for Abod to come up in the postseason. He'll start his day taking on Cam Lane, Logan Webster, and Garrett Jackson. For Eastern Mennonite, win, and you force a Game 3, which would be played 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1 today. But for Lynchburg, it's a little different, calling yourself the road team while playing on your home field. But nonetheless here, a win for the Hornets allows Lynchburg to move beyond the opening series and head down to High Point, where ODAC postseason will continue throughout next weekend. So, Lynchburg looking to advance, EMU looking to keep their season alive. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's going to be a fun battle between these two sides this afternoon. And Game 1 will serve as the 79th all-time meeting between these two sides. Lynchburg with the win yesterday, now 57-21 all-time against the Royals. And it's a win in all 3 meetings during this calendar season, or academic calendar season. Regular season sweep at Eastern Mennonite, and then, of course, the 18-0 win yesterday. So, as I noted, Cam Lane will lead things off for Lynchburg. We'll show you the lineup card now for the Hornets. Lane will lead things off, the DH, followed by Logan Webster, then Garrett Jackson. Hitting cleanup is the left fielder Avery Dees, followed by P.J. Alvanos, who's going to play second, bat fifth. In the 6th hole, shortstop Gavin Collins. Then it's Josh Jorman batting 7th. Holden Fiedler in the 8th spot and doing the catching today, Carson Atkins. Rounding out the lineup card for 5th-year head coach Lucas Jones, as the Hornets looking to advance to round 2 of the ODAC postseason tournament. Abod set on the bump. First pitch to his day. Misses low and inside. So 1-0 count to start. Abon gets a pitch, fouled up the left field line. It does get out of play, move the count to an even state at 1-1. Last appearance during the regular season for Abon was a 3-inning stint at Roanoke, Game 1 of a doubleheader. Couple of earned runs surrendered, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. He also tossed 3 innings in the appearance prior at Shenandoah. 12-8 loss for the team, but 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout in that appearance for Abod himself. One-two on its way to Lane. Misses off the outside corner. Count once again even. Lane enjoyed a 4-for-4 afternoon in yesterday's win. Also had a sacrifice bunt and a walk drawn. Takes the 2-2 off the inside corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Lynchburg leadoff bat. Payoff pitch on the inside corner, and Cam Lane goes down looking, not happy with that call. But Lane rung up, backward skate to start the afternoon for Abod. That'll bring Logan Webster to the plate. Strong statement to start today's broadcast. Here it is again. Lynchburg as a team will stand close to the inside corner, try to make pitchers uncomfortable. And here, the pitch Lane thought was too far inside. Instead, Abod gets the call at third strike. Webster watches the first pitch on the outside corner and trails in the count 0-1 to start. Right on right matchup. 0-1 off the outside part of the plate. So while Lynchburg, technically the road team here in game 2, how about 20-2 record playing at James C. Fox Field during the course of this season. Looking to make it 21-2 this afternoon. It's really impressive to watch how this team defends their home turf. Lone losses coming in a split doubleheader against the number 24 team in the country, Shenandoah, as well as a loss against a red-hot Tufts Jumbos team at the start of March. Good take for Webster. He now leads the count 3-1. Hitters count. Webster fouls off the pitch at the knees. We move to consecutive full counts now. Abon was able to strike out Lane looking for history to repeat itself. Payoff pitch to Webster. Lined the other way and out of play. During the regular season, Webster, standout freshman, hit .313, started now 30 games during the course of this season, 33 games played, 11 extra base hits, 28 RBIs. Breaking ball, catches the inside corner, consecutive backwards Ks, and Abod struck out each of the first two he's faced. Strong start to the afternoon for the righty, making just his second start of the season. And Abod looking to make it a 1-2-3 start to his afternoon. He'll go through Garrett Jackson. Here's this strikeout once again, and that is an uncomfortable pitch to see coming your way as a hitter. Front door breaking ball. Initially, you're seeing fastball coming right at you, and then it breaks hard on the inside corner and ultimately catches the zone. The second strikeout today for the EMU starting arm. Garrett Jackson watches the first pitch downstairs. Count now 1-1. Jackson went 2 for 5 yesterday. A couple runs scored, pair of RBIs. 1-1. Sent to high right. A couple steps back. Jordan Jones with a beat on it. Makes the catch for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 start to the afternoon for the Royal starter Adrian Abod. Sends the Hornets down in order. We'll step aside, come back at our first look at the Eastern Mennonite batting lineup. You're watching the Royals and the Hornets on LHSN.
Be ready for anything, okay?
Come on, let's go together. Together, let's go. Come on. Let's go, keep going.
There is the death trip. Straight? Straight up, yep. Okay. Cool. Good one. All right, guys, you see the meat grinder down here? Stay in the boat. Let's go.
You on camera? Oh, what you think of that? Woo!
Home half the first inning, Zach Potts will take the mound for the Lynchburg Hornets. Potts, a regular in the starting rotation for the Hornets. A little surprising he wasn't the guy throwing in Game 1 yesterday, but Potts will get the nod in Game 2 and start his afternoon taking on Jordan Jones, Jalen Lee, then Brent Lindsay will show the entire lineup for the Royals now. Top three of the order I've already noted. Cleanup man is the catcher, Ray Tricarico, followed by Natty Solomon, then Robert Gunther hitting sixth, playing third. Then it's Gage Riddick playing first, batting seventh. Behind him is Ethan Spraker, and then Logan Mason rounds out the lineup card. Count to 0-2. Potts out to a quick start, looking to emulate the 1-2-3 top of the first we saw from Adrian Abod. Foul behind the plate. Jones looking to battle. For Jones yesterday was a 1-for-4 showing. The Royals as a team only had 4 hits and lost yesterday. 2 came from the man on deck, Jalen Lee. So an EMU team that hit .310 during the regular season. Looking for a little more offense this afternoon to keep their season alive. The 1-2 fouled away. Running you through some of the numbers for Zach Potts, 6.75 ERA, 13 now starts on the season, a 6-4 record before today's contest. Starting 57 and a third innings, 54 strikeouts, 17 walks, and the real stat that is a little interesting when you look at who Zach Potts is, and obviously coming off a season where a year ago was named second team All-South region, third team All-South region from D3Baseball.com. Opponents hitting .320 against this year, and Potts has good stuff. He just had moments leaving pitches out over the plate, and when you do that, hitters across the ODAC will certainly make you pay. Garrett Jackson settles underneath the pop-up and foul territory, and Jones down for out number 1. Take this opportunity to give you the defensive alignment for Lynchburg. The catcher for Potts is Holden Fiedler. The infield from left to right has Garrett Jackson at the hot corner. You saw making the first out for the Hornets. Gavin Collins back out at short. PJ Alvanos, his middle infield partner. Josh Dorman, again at first base. In the outfield from right to left is Logan Webster in right. Carson Atkins in center. Avery Neves back out in left with the DH. That's Cam Lane. First plate appearance today for Jalen Lee. 2-for-4 showing yesterday. And overall in the year, how about a .392 average? He has started now all 36 games played this year by the Royals. And here it's a 2-0 count to start for Lee. Collins is short. Playing over to the pull side. Grounder sent to Jackson at third. The throw across the infield in time for out number 2. Couple of plays made defensively for Jackson. You see him on your screen now. The senior does it on both the offensive side as well as what he provides defensively. Versatile chess piece, but also somebody who just as solid and as dependable as he can get, especially when playing at third. During the regular season, about a .955 fielding percentage for Jackson. First pitch swinging. Lindsay chops one to Alvanos at second. Throw to first in time for out number 3. Potts matches Abod's 1-2-3 start to his afternoon, and we are scoreless through the first inning of action. We'll step aside, come back with the top of the second. Lynchburg will send 4-5-6 to the plate.
Tim Slusser from the Outdoor Leadership Program gave a presentation at a teaching and learning resources conference here about getting his program more involved on the academic side of campus. I mentioned computers and mapping, and he mentioned caving, and eventually we came up with the idea of mapping caves.
So the week before we were able to learn how to use the instruments kind of like on a flat surface and just kind of get a hang of how they work. But it was really amazing how once we got in the cave, it was a completely different experience using them.
It was unique. It got most of us out of our comfort zone, kind of gave us a new experience, a new taste of something new. But I think the most difficult parts were getting the lighting right. You had to read the instruments with the headlamps while keeping your eye pointed on the plot point.
This allowed them to actually literally get their hands dirty, collecting data, conducting measurements, and putting all that together in the form of a map, and doing it in a place that's never been mapped before.
Top of the second inning, Avery Neves to lead things off for the Hornets. He'll be followed then by P.J. Alvanos and Gavin Collins. It's a 1-2-3 start to the day for Adrian Abod, who retakes the mound. Had a couple of backwards Ks in that first inning, then retired Garrett Jackson on a fly out to right field. Now sees Avery Neves for the first time today. And we'll showcase some of the numbers for Abod during the regular season. As the righty now enters the windup. Misses inside against Neves. Falls behind 2-0. The ever-dangerous Pat, who hit his 14th home run of the season yesterday afternoon. Overall, it was a 1-for-3 performance. 3 RBIs. He also added a sacrifice fly later in the game. Front door breaking ball. Abod's had a lot of confidence going to that pitch. Gets a cold strike on the inside part of the plate against Neves. Counts at 2-1. And on the hands of Neves, he'll fight it off into left center field, and we have our first hit of the contest. Neves aboard at first. And next up, Alvanos coming off. Nice day at the plate yesterday, 1 for 2. Drew a pair of walks, a couple of RBIs to go with it. And it should be noted, Neves, 11 of 15 on stolen base attempts. Over at first, held on by Gage Riddick. First time seeing Abod work with a runner on. Quick to the plate, attacks the inside corner against the lefty Alvanos. Keep in mind, this is just the second left-handed hitter that Abod's faced, and to retire Lane, he attacked heavily on that inside corner on a pitch similar to what we just saw to Alvanos. Throw over to first. Back standing is Neves. Abod again tries to attack the inside corner. This time it's the zone. We're evened up 1-1. Much prettier afternoon here in Lynchburg, Virginia, compared to the 52 degrees at first pitch yesterday. It's right around 64 degrees today. Sunny with mild wind coming in from right center field. Alvanos underneath the 1-1. Backpedaling behind second, losing to the sun, Brett Lindsay. Trying to make a quick play at second, unable to do that. It'll go down as a bloop single for P.J. Alvanos. Back-to-back hits to start the inning for Lynchburg. 2 on, no down. Gavin Collins, the next man up.
Now batting, shortstop, number 15, Gavin.
And as I was talking about the weather, noted it is sunny. Not a cloud to be found above James C. Fox Field. And that certainly plays a factor on that. Don't want to call it a miscue per se against Lindsay. He's not going to be charged with the error, but that leads to some of the difficulties finding that pitch in the Lynchburg sky. First pitch, breaking ball, hits the outside corner to Collins. 0-1 counts a start, and Abod now has to work through the jam. The good news is we've already seen a couple of strikeouts today. He's showcased the strikeout potential, and the stats coming in today would showcase he has that ability. But also that two-seamer makes for a great ground ball pitch, and that's exactly what you're looking for here if you're a pitcher. Leg kick, 0-1. Breaking ball comes too far inside, and where a ground ball was exactly what you're looking for. A hit batter here, especially early in the count. or with 2 strikes is the exact opposite of what you're looking for as a pitcher. So after a 1-2-3 first inning, the first 3 to come to the plate, and the second of all reached against Abod. Single has knees all the way up to third. Alvanos also reached on a base hit. He's at second. Now Collins on via the hit by pitch to load the bases. The beneficiary, Josh Jorman. Bases are juiced. Chance to open up today's scoring. First pitch off the inside part of the plate. And Jorman as steady as it gets when it comes to making contact. About .360 average during the regular season. Handful of doubles, a triple to go with it. 1-0, misses in the same spot. Gets away from the catcher, Tricarico. And scoring on the wild pitch is Avery Neves. Lynchburg strikes first and leads 1-0. That would make for a team-high 10th wild pitch of the season from Abod. Next closest would be a couple of players at 6. So that has been something that has hurt Abod statistically throughout the course of the season, and it certainly hurts here. Lynchburg leads 1-0. Count 2-1 to Jorman. Gets a pitch, letter high, sends it to left, couple steps over. Logan Mason will make the catch, trying to tag and score in the plays. Alvanos the throw, cut off at third. And it's a productive out for Josh Jorman to double the Hornets' advantage. Lynchburg now leads 2-0. Collins still at second after the wild pitch moved him up 90 feet. So with 2 down, still an RBI opportunity for Holden Fiedler, getting his first plate appearance. Did get to see the catcher a little bit in yesterday's contest, but it was as a defensive change in the 9th inning. He became the catcher for Tommy Preston, who threw the final inning in the win yesterday for the Hornets. For the first time this series, we're seeing Fiedler at the plate. First pitch on the outside corner. 0-1 count to start. It's a 2-run top of the second to open up today's scoring. Lynchburg, like they did yesterday in the first to strike. Slider crosses by at the knees to make it an 0-2 count. And when talking post-game with yesterday's starter Nick Matfield as well as Avery Neves, one of the things we wanted to talk about was how this team naturally kind of built energy for themselves, time called at the plate, right, as Abod was beginning his motion. But I think today's another great example of how one play leads to another, and this whole team works cohesively in the dugout and creates the energy for themselves. Day over day, that's one of the bigger challenges, and it's not something you're going to see in the game plan or anything like that in the X's and O's or even the box score, but the ability, especially early on, get yourself fired up, turn one play into a spark of momentum, something that Lynchburg's done really well all year long, and you're seeing that put on display again today. You get a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. The offense gets a couple runners on, and then with a wild pitch and a sac fly, you're ahead 2-0. Fiedler down to the count, 0-2, chases the breaking ball and becomes the third strikeout victim at the hand of Adrian Abod. Huge second out for the Royals' right-handed arm, who's looking to hold the damage at 2 runs across, and now sees the 9-hole hitter Carson Atkins for the first time. Atkins with a pair of base hits yesterday. Also drove in a pair of runs. Watched the first pitch, in for a called strike. It's a 3-for-5 afternoon yesterday. The average up to 261 for Atkins. Started now all 42 games out in center field for the Hornets. And with 2 down and Collins, the runner at second, hit the outfield. should certainly do the job and make it 3-0 Lynchburg. Collins does run well. Atkins tries to wait on the breaking ball, still out in front of it. Slaps it foul, third base side. Ebod ready with the signs coming from Tricarico. 1-2. Fastball. Letter high. Cut on and missed. Atkins becomes the second consecutive hitter to go down swinging. Fourth strikeout in total for Ebod, and it ends the inning after 2 runs come across. Neve scores on a wild pitch, then an RBI sac fly from German. Plates Alvanos. Hornets carry a 2-0 lead into the home half of the second. You're watching Eastern Mennonite and Lynchburg on LHSN. Zach Potts retakes the mound. He tossed a perfect first inning of action and now has a pair of runs to his back after Lynchburg scores 2 in the top half this inning. Have the first lead of the day. First pitch hits on the outside corner to Ray Tricarico, starting catcher for Eastern Mennonite. The 0-1 in the same spot. Tricarico can't make contact and L trails 0-2. Over at third, Garrett Jackson drove in or had a nice defensive play last inning, rather, excuse me. 0 for 1 at the plate so far. 1-2 the count. Potts in the windup. Again, trying to nibble on the outside corner. Won't get the call this time around. Tricarico goes 1 for 3. The hit comes in his last time up. The loss yesterday afternoon. Pops up the 2-2. On the fringe of the infield dirt and the outfield grass, Collins another step back and makes the grab for out number 1. Four up, 4 down to start the day for the Royals. You go back to yesterday's loss for Eastern Mennonite. Most hitters to come to the plate in a single inning, and the loss yesterday was 4. Royals had 4 come to the plate in the 2nd, 8th, and the 9th. Everything else, Matfield as well as Preston the 9th. Well, I guess not Preston the 9th, but every other inning for Matfield, he faced the minimum. So if you're an Eastern Mennonite fan, you're hoping to see more longer drawn-out innings. And really it starts with just runners getting on, creating opportunities, similar to what we saw for Lynchburg, top of the 2nd. Right, it's not an overly hit baseball off the bat of Neves, but drops down for a single. And then Alvano's fortunate that Lindsay couldn't find it in the sun. It becomes a single as well. And then Lynchburg plays clinical baseball with runners on, and the Royals will get a chance here to do something similar as Natty Solomon has a single to center. First hit of the day for the Royals.
Now batting, third baseman number 16, Robert Gunther.
And Robert Gunther looking to keep the train rolling. Was at third yesterday, went 0 for 3 at the plate. So a chance now to get his first hit of the postseason. Fastball clips the outside corner. Now the count even, 1-1. Solomon over at first has not attempted stolen base yet this season. Sent out towards right, ranging towards the line. Logan Webster able to cover the necessary ground. Gunther down via the F9 for out number 2.
Now batting, first baseman number 17, Gage Riddick.
Gage Riddick. First time stepping to the plate all series. Did get to see him on the mound a little bit yesterday. Tossed 3+, gave up 5 hits and 5 earned runs. But today, out at first and hitting in the 7th spot. And Riddick during the regular season played 26 games, started 29, hit 250. No extra base hits other than 1 home run. And he had 9 RBIs with it. Some solid contact from Riddick, but sent straight to center. Atkins, a couple steps in to make the catch for out number 3. Solomon stranded over at first as the first base runner today for the Royals. 2 innings down, Lynchburg leads 2-0. We step aside and come back with the top of the 3rd. Hornets lead the Royals 2-0.
Get your career in the game by enrolling in the University of Lynchburg MBA program with an emphasis in sport management. This program opens the doors to new possibilities for a variety of careers, from being an athletic director or working in athletic administration to working for professional organizations, your favorite team, to running a local Parks and Rec department. And employers are increasingly requesting and preferring individuals who have postgraduate education, specifically looking for an MBA. And so the University of Lynchburg Sport Management concentration in the MBA program sets you up for success, and it sets you apart from the many other people looking for jobs in the industry. Learn from winners. Here you will learn from professors and mentors who have spent their careers doing exactly what you want to do. Increase your marketability in an $83 billion industry. If you have a 3.0 GPA, the GMAT is waived. There's no application fee, admissions occurs on a rolling basis, and our online program is ideal for working adults. When you enroll in this program, you enroll in the opportunity to learn from the best of the best. Your professors have a wealth of experience working in the sport industry that they share with you in the classroom setting. Get in the game by getting your MBA with a sport management concentration at the University of Lynchburg. You know, Hollywood, here I come.
Top of the 3rd inning, Lynchburg leads 2-0. And it'll be top of the order to get us underway in inning number 3 between the Royals and the Hornets. Cam Lane, 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking his first time up. He'll then be followed by Webster and Jackson. That trio went down 1-2-3 in the first inning of the day for Adrian Abon. Line to right and down for a single. Cam Lane has the 3rd hit of the day for the Hornets. And it should be noted, Lane going down on strikes in his first time up today was the first time he's been retired this series with a non-productive out. He did have a sacrifice bunt yesterday, but that was at the cost of moving runners up. Today it was just a strikeout. But Lane right back where he picking up right where he left off yesterday. The single here to start off atop the 3rd. Webster shows bunt. That's a tough pitch to try to lay up the 3rd base line. The slider breaking away from you. And Webster trying a little too hard, trying to keep it in play instead. Goes across the chalk. And it's a 0-1 count to start. Webster, like Lane, went down looking. His first time up. Both backwards Ks came on a 3-2 count on a pitch on the inside corner. But now a second look against Avon. It's interesting to see the changes at the plate that hitters make as they get more and more glances against a pitcher. Throw to first, Lane, back safely. Lane yesterday was actually caught stealing for the first time all season long, now 10 for 11 stolen base attempts, but that was about the one thing that Lynchburg didn't have go their way yesterday afternoon en route to the big 18-0 win to open up the series. But today, a new day, is Abod looking to fuel the Royals into a Game 3, which will be played 30 minutes after the end of Game 2. Curveball, slapped foul, third base side. Three RBIs yesterday afternoon for Webster, including a 2 RBI triple. He had out towards left center field. Throw over. Lane slides in time. That extra base hit for Webster coming as a part of a 7-run bottom of the 6th. He also had an error that drove in a run, reached on an E5. That brought home a run in the 2nd inning. Hard pitch to take there for Webster, but able to watch it miss outside. Next pitch from Abod will be his 40th of the afternoon. Long pause from the righty. Goes to the fastball, and Webster again fouls it out of play. The lead for Lane, not all that large over at first. And Abod really quick to the plate. That slide step, he said, really tough to run on. Plus, we saw the arm yesterday of Tricarico throwing out Lane on one of his 2 stolen base attempts. Slider, another miss outside. All that is reasons why you might not see Lane in motion here, but still in a pitcher's count. 1-2, you see the slider. 2-2, you might not see the same pitch, but that's the advantage, maybe trying to time up an opportunity to run here. Might get a breaking ball to the hand of Abod, which makes it that much harder for Tricarico. Make a throw to second. Here it's the catcher, range behind the plate. Taking a bit of a stumble on his way towards the Lynchburg dugout, but holds on and makes the grab. Webster down for out number 1. Nice agility put on display there for Tricarico, popping up out of the stance, locates the baseball, which, keep in mind, Brett Lindsay over at short had a hard time with that last inning. The sun is very harsh this afternoon, but Tricarico able to reel it in. 1-on-1 down now for Jackson, who's 0 for 1 with the fly out to right. Jackson watches the first pitch down below the knees. Average right around 300 all season long for Garrett Jackson. Now has it even count at 1-1. Third baseman, also second on the team, 7 home runs. Tied for third in RBIs for the team, 41. Another throw to first. Lane slides in safely once again. Slider, close but misses outside. Especially now, the second time through the lineup card, seeing Abod going to that slider early and often. Same pitch. Misses in nearly the same spot. Count now 3-1. So hitters count here for Jackson. Got to be careful here how you pitch the right-handed hitter. This time it's a fastball missing off the outside corner. 5-pitch walk. Has a second runner on. Lynchburg looking to make it runs across in back-to-back innings. The walk moves Lane into scoring position at second. First base on ball is issued today by Abott. He did hit Gavin Collins last inning, so you can see it as the second free pass. Bailey Hall comes out of the dugout for Eastern Mennonite. Get a look at the championship sign right in left center field here at Fox Field. Lynchburg looking to make it back-to-back conference titles. This P.J. Alvenos as the hero in Game 3 a year ago against Shenandoah. And Lynchburg starts with closing things out against Eastern Mennonite today. Try to advance and prolong the season into next weekend. And we'll give you an update on some of the scores from around the conference as today moves further and further along. We also have Roanoke and Randolph-Macon underway now. At 2 o'clock, we'll have Shenandoah playing host to Hampton-Sydney. And we have a handful of, if necessary, games which could come into play later today. Neves back to the plate. Leadoff single last inning. Watches the breaking ball in the outside corner and the count to 1-1. Neves has been a force to be reckoned with all year long. The average up and over 400 now at 407. Slugging percentage at nearly 850. On base percentage 564. All that to say, the season the juniors put together has been nearly one of a kind. Two 2-1. Popped up, first base side. It'll get out of play. Count even now at 2-2. This would be a massive second out of the inning, whether it's a strikeout or potentially something on the ground that could end the inning. That's got to be the focus here for Abod. That might be even more why you're seeing that breaking ball, trying to get somebody to roll over the slider. See where Abod goes here. 2-2, elevated fastball. Neves lays off. Now the count full. On deck is Alvenos, barring a double play. Good to see the left-handed hitter for a second time in as many innings. Long pause from Abon. Results in time called behind the plate. Abon quick to the plate now. Misses off the inside corner. Back-to-back walks, and the bases are now loaded for Lynchburg.
Now batting, second baseman, number 18, P.J. Alvenos.
And we've already seen pitching coach Bailey Hall come out of the pen once. As of now, I don't see any action in the Royals bullpen. And Abod, each of his last two prior appearances, 3 innings in length. Before that, it was a couple of one-inning starts. All in all, his long experience was in his very first stint on the bump this year, back on February 19th against Averett, 4 innings. Abod on the mound against the Cougars. Alvenos nicks it in and out of the glove of Tricarico. Count is 1-1. That's all I had to say. This may well be the end of the line for Abod, as now some movement. A couple of bodies heading out towards the bullpen, including left-handed arm Brendan Barrett, senior from Virginia Beach. 1-1. Chopped foul, first base side. And it would create, I am speculating at this point, but if Barrett is the next guy up, 5'7", left-handed arm, feels like a complete opposite that you could throw out right after Adrian Abod. And by doing that, making it that much more of a difficult transition for the Hornets at the plate. 1-2. Breaking ball. Popped up. Right at the dish. Tricarico battling the sun. It'll fall down. And it's going to be an infield fly. No runners will advance. Officially, for those keeping track at home, it's a P2 as Tricarico the closest to it. Big second out of the inning for Abod, looking to hold the damage at the 2 runs. That's, of course, from last inning. But keep it at a 2-0 score. The bottom half of this inning, you send 8-9-1 to the plate. First pitch to Collins, curveball, in for a strike. Collins was hit by a pitch last inning. Looking to come through in the bases loaded spot. Same pitch. Collins underneath it and off the end of the bat. Sent to center. Jalen Lee charges in, makes the grab for out number 3. The bases left loaded. And a much needed 0 put next to the Hornets line for Adrian Abod. Keeps it a 2-0 score as we step aside and come back with the home half of the 3rd inning. The Royals will send Ethan Spraker to the plate to lead things off.
I was really attracted to Lynchburg primarily because my dad went here. He is an alum, so I kind of have that close tie of being interested in this school. And the school had what I wanted to study. I knew I wanted to help people in the area of health and wellness, so the health promotion program was definitely a program that drew me in. And from day one, I've been in love with it, and I wouldn't have chosen any different. I have never had better professors or teachers in my life, and I think here at the University of Lynchburg, the professors definitely care about their students, especially in the health promotion department. These professors want you to be educated, want you to have the experience, and just want you to feel confident going into your career path following your collegiate education. You just feel like you're cared for here and that you matter, and that no matter what, at the end of the day, you're going to be successful. And the people here really want to be here, and everyone has a purpose, and it's just a great environment to be in.
Home half the 3rd inning. Ethan Spraker, Logan Mason, Jordan Jones coming to the plate as Zach Potts looks to make it through inning number 3. There's a look at the Eastern Mennonite dugout, first base side, under the leadership of head coach Adam Posey, former player, as well as a former assistant coach for the Royals. And Coach Posey now up the 3rd base line. Watching his second baseman. Takes the first pitch in bell tie for a called strike. Spraker back out at second. He had an 0 for afternoon yesterday. Threw 3 chances at the plate. That's from Potts off the outside corner. Talking more about Zach Potts. Look at his last 7 appearances during the regular season. 3 or more earned runs. Each of that, it was 6 earned runs at Eastern Mennonite on March 26th. That really began this tough spell. 3 earned runs on April 2nd at Ferrum. 4 given up at Christopher Newport. A lot of that came in that final inning. There was a grand slam he issued in this 6th inning of work. He was actually really, really stellar that afternoon. But then 6 earned runs against Guilford on the 16th. 2 earned runs and an inning and a third against Virginia Wesleyan in a midweek game. On the road, 6 earned runs in Game 1 against Shenandoah. 3 earned runs his last start of the regular season against Bridgewater. You get the idea. The accolades coming into the year showcase the talent and the stuff that Potts has. But there have been a handful of games, especially back half of the schedule. Potts got himself into trouble. Was catching too much of the plate. Looking to rectify that in the postseason. 2-2. Misses outside. Payoff pitch. Chopped over the head of Potts. Off the glove of Alvanos. Wide turnaround first for Spraker, but he'll hit the brakes, retreat back to the bag with the second hit of the day for Eastern Mennonite. Leadoff man on for the Royals, Logan Mason to the plate for the first time today. He too hitless, going 0 for 3 yesterday. Back-to-back starts out in left field. Toss to first, back safely Spraker. When you look at the stats, Mason, of players in the lineup card, third highest average, 378. Granted, smaller sample size compared to that of Jalen Lee, Rachel Carrico. Now 22 starts, 30 games played, so still enough playing time to judge Mason True by his numbers. It's 31 hits through 82 at-bats. Another throw over to first. Spraker backstanding once again. And for Spraker, 9 for 9 on stolen base attempts. He gets an extra step off from first. Fiedler sets up on the outside corner. Runner takes off. Fastball cut on a miss. The throw to second. Tag put down by Alvenos. And Spraker caught stealing. Two-4 on the putout for those keeping track at home. Fiedler with the throw, Alvenos with the tag. Base pass now cleared, and Spraker first out of the day. And you could not have asked for a better throw from Holden Fiedler. Hats off to the catcher. And getting that tag down for Alvenos, you see on your screen. Certainly easier said than done. The 0-2 misses high. That becomes the first time Spraker's been caught on the base pass all year long. And the 1-2 sends Mason back to the dugout. First strikeout today for Zach Potts, and it becomes the second out to the home half of the third.
Now batting, right fielder number 6, Jordan Jones.
Jordan Jones, the right fielder, 0 for 1. Watch the first pitch in a perfect spot. Knee-high, outside corner. Couldn't have asked for a better location for Zach Potts. Now a miss off the inside corner to even the count 1-1. And look at where we are now. 37 pitches thrown today for Zach Potts. You just saw his first strikeout. No walks issued. Just 2 hits given up. And now a high chopper. Sent to second. Alvenos charges in. Have to be quick on the release. The throw about a step behind the speedy Jordan Jones up the first base line. Infield single. Third of the day for the Royals.
Now batting, center fielder number 24, Jalen Lee.
Jalen Lee grounded out to third, his first time up. 2 hits in the loss yesterday. Chance here, try to prolong the top of the third inning. Excuse me, bottom of the third inning. Still getting used to EMU being our home team this afternoon. And of course, the natural what-ifs question, you have the infield single from Jones, and does that really happen if Spraker's still in the base path? Maybe not. But say it does. You could be looking at a spot with 2 on, just 1 down. One of the interesting what-ifs when we look back on this game as Lee nicks it into the glove of Fiedler. You certainly have to be careful when playing the what-if game, but that being said, down by 2 runs, how different could this inning have been if EMU created a run-scoring opportunity and came through, but even furthermore, created a run-scoring chance and maybe pulled something similar to what Lynchburg did in the top half of this inning. Came up empty. What does that do for morale in the dugout, but also team energy? You're trying to build something up, and sometimes as you work forward, you have something really set you back, like leaving the bases loaded. Tangent aside, a couple throws over. Jones back safely on both attempts from Potts. Jones, another speedy base runner. Team best 18 swipe bags this year. Only been caught 3 times. Perfect pitch, cut on and missed. Count now 0-2. And we're talking about Fiedler throwing out Spraker, his 6th runner he's caught stealing this year. On now 30, who have tried to move up and swipe a bag. We'll see if Jones tries to test the arm of Fiedler. 0-2 count. This is one of those spots where you may be thinking Zach Potts is going to go off speed, something slower. Jones starts to go, then stops. And meanwhile, Jalen Lee goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the day for Zach Potts. Runner left on at first. Couple hits this inning, so steps in the right direction as Eastern Mennonite goes down without a run put on the board. 2-0 your scores. We step aside. Come back. Top of the 4th inning, Lynchburg will send 7, 8, 9 to the plate.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and road course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
Josh Jorman will lead things off, top of the 4th inning. After Jorman comes Holden Fiedler, then Carson Atkins. Adrian Abod stays out on the mound for Eastern Mennonite and starts off his 4th frame of work. Fouled off pitch from Jorman. 0-1 the count. Lynchburg first baseman, an RBI sac fly his first time up. Here the lefty shows bunt, pulls back, and certainly draws the attention of Robert Gunther over at third. Quickly starts to make his way in, but now with an 0-2 count, the bunt more than likely taken off the table. Abod winds, fires, leaves the pitch over the heart of the plate, and Jorman certainly makes him pay and delivers a single into center field. Fourth hit of the game for Lynchburg. And it becomes the 3rd consecutive inning where the Hornets have gotten the leadoff runner on. Neves with a leadoff single in the 2nd. Lane did the same thing in the 3rd, and now it's Jorman keeping that trend going. And inning number 4. Holden Fiedler threw out his 6th run in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now back to the plate, 0 for 1. Became the 3rd of 4 strikeouts today for Abod. First pitch swinging, lofted to center, battling the sun. Lee will make the catch. There's one down, and I failed to give you the defensive alignment. I'm going to do that now. Ray Tricarico doing the catching today for Eastern Mennonite for Adrian Abod. The infield from left to right, Robert Gunther at the hot corner. Brett Lindsay out at short. Ethan Spraker starts at second with Gage Riddick over at first, holding on Jorman. In the outfield from right to left is Jordan Jones in right, Jalen Lee in center, and Logan Mason out in left. The DH, Snatty Solomon. Apologies for that delay. Normally I like to do that in the first, but better late than never. Toss to first, Jorman back. The head first slide. Jorman 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts this season. Atkins ready to the plate. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Breaking ball, short hops the dish. Tricarico tries to backpick it. Instead, wild pitch moves Jorman up to second. Avon with double-digit wild pitches this season. And all in all, gave up a couple walks last inning, but that on top of a couple pitches down in the dirt, Avon's been able to put together a strong afternoon. Just some of those unforced errors have come back to hurt. Right-handed starter. Pitch on the outer half. Fouled away. 2-1 the count now for Atkins. Turn towards second for Avon. Couple steps closer to the bag now for second baseman Ethan Spraker. Trying to keep Jorman honest. Slider on the inside corner, backhanded by Gunther. Throw across the infield in time. And Atkins down for out number 2. Nice play. A 5-3 putout from those on the corners. And EMU and out away for making it. Consecutive innings where Lynchburg held out of the scoring column. Cam Lane looking to write a different story. Jorman runs well at second. And Lane 1 for 2 at the plate this afternoon. Hit came his last time up. Hit it all the way to third. He was the lead runner stranded when the Hornets left the bases loaded last inning. First pitch, Abod comes too far inside and has plunked his second hitter of the day. To make it 2 on and 2 down. Here it is again. Lynchburg, by far and away, leads the ODAC and hit batters this season. It was just one player hit by a pitch yesterday. That was the 96. We've already seen 2 today, so the total up to 98 hit batters. It's getting closer and closer to the century mark, which is really kind of hard to fathom, but ton of credit. Lynchburg buying as a team, and the phrase is wearing it, and that is easier said than done. But Lynchburg has embraced that and has certainly paid dividends. Sets up a spot here as Webster fouls off the 1-0 to even the count 1-all. The freshman can come through with 2 on, 2 away. Add on to the 2-0 Lynchburg lead. Called strike on the outside corner makes it a pitcher's count, 1-2. Abon with a chance for strikeout number 5. Tricarico sets up on the outside corner. Couple of glances to second. Abon to the plate. Slider breaks off the outside corner. Now evened up 2-all. There's an arm up and throwing. Eastern Mennonite bullpen. This may well be the final frame we see Abod on the mound. Looking to make it a scoreless inning of work. 2's across the scoreboard. Abod attacks the outside corner, and Webster goes down swinging. 5th punch out of the day for Adrian Abod, and 2 more runners left on. 5 in total to the last 2 chances at the plate for the Hornets left on the base paths. We step aside as we made it through 3.5. Lynchburg leads EMU 2-0 in Game 2 for opening round series.
My name is Davion Washington Jr. I have the honor of serving as the student body president. I have 5 little siblings. I'm the oldest of 6 siblings, and they look up to me. I'm setting the tone. I get to develop myself, make myself a better individual, but also I'm helping future generations, not even my family, but just future generations in general. I found my passion here. I found, the love for what I want to do. I just really had an amazing time here. It's changed like my outlook on life. You don't have to be famous to change lives. You don't have to be on the big screen or whatever. I change lives now, and I hope to continue to do that. Just same way that the University of Lynchburg has changed my life for the better.
This is the dough. It's wicked cute. It's always so pretty.
Brett Lindsay will lead things off for Eastern Mennonite. After that, the catcher Rachel Carrico, then the DH Natty Solomon. Zach Potts stays out on the mound, eyeing inning number 4 of completion. He's put up nothing but zeros next to the EMU line, but Lindsay jumps on the first pitch he gets, fights it off to left field, and has his first hit of the afternoon. Both teams now with 4 base knocks. The difference, Lynchburg's been able to get those 2 runs across. That being said, 5 runners left on in total between the 3rd and 4th inning at the plate. For the Hornets, EMU has only stranded 2 runners this afternoon. This is the first pitch to Carrico, hits on the outside corner. The left on base disparity comes as a virtue of a couple different things. He had a runner caught stealing last inning for EMU, but also more walks issued by Abod, a couple hit batters, while Potts to this point, no hit batters, no walks issued. So Lynchburg's had a few more runners hit the base paths due to that. Oh-2 goes off the end of the bat. Tails towards left center. Atkins on his horse gets back towards the warning track and makes the catch for out number 1. And Carson Atkins, just one of those players you'll happily take a guy with that much speed who's hitting 261 and also brings a good amount of pop to the plate. About 15 extra base hits for Atkins, but solely for what he does defensively, that's why he starts every game. I mean, legitimately, I think Carson Atkins could get away with hitting 125 and still start every game for Coach Jones and the Hornets. Now, that's just my opinion. Don't take that as something I've heard, but defensively speaking, Atkins, not only with the range, too, strong arm and straightaway center. I mean, that in and of itself has enough value to make sure he's on lineup card day in and day out. 1-on-1 down for Natty Solomon at the plate. This pitch gets away from Fiedler, rolls towards the Royals dugout. Advancing to second is Lindsay. So 1-0 count to start. Solomon's 1 for 1. His hit came back in the 2nd inning. He was then stranded at first. Tense here with Lindsay's speed at second. Middle infielder, you can expect a fair amount of it. Base knock here may put the Royals into the scoring column and cut their deficit in half. Good take from Solomon. Watches it miss off the outside corner. Puts himself at hitter's count. 2 balls, no strikes. Solomon, 257 hitter, coming in today, 24 RBIs. Second on the team with 6 home runs, trailing just Jalen Lee with 10. 2-0, misses inside. Potts misses in the same spot and issues his first walk on the day. That of the 4-pitch variety. Solomon now on at first. And this is the type of moment in the game where Holden Fiedler comes out, tries to calm down Zach Potts, but this is where you feel those 5 runners left on base for Lynchburg a ton. It's 2-0 right now, but stepped into play does the go-ahead run in the form of Robert Gunther. And had Lynchburg been able to get some insurance, maybe just one more run in the third, another run in the fourth, you're talking about a different game at 4-0 and how you want to pitch and approach here with Gunther now versus in that hypothetical scenario. But due to that, if you're a Royals fan, this is the time to strike. Lynchburg, back-to-back innings where they're held scoreless, leaving runners on. That's a demoralizing factor. Now you have a chance to break through in the scoring column and gain some momentum for yourself. And, of course, EMU looking to keep their season alive. A loss in Game 2 brings a close to their postseason run. But a win forces a Game 3, win-or-go-home situation. It's always interesting to see how teams respond with their back against the wall. And keep in mind, after a hot start, Lynchburg led 7-0 after 2 innings yesterday. Huge hole. EMU hung around through the middle third of that contest, but ultimately did fall short as Lynchburg was able to put up a crooked inning, 7 runs across in the 6th, then 4 more in the 8th. But here's a chance for EMU to tell a different story. Give them the 2 runs, top of the 2nd, but chance to get him back here. 0-2 count, however, for Gunther. He'll have to battle. Breaking ball from Potts. Misses outside. Fiedler sets up on the inside corner. Potts takes a look towards second. Barring a double play, the man on deck is Gage Riddick. So the 1-2 is down in the dirt, blocked up by Fiedler. That's a massive block. Forced for a retreat back to second is Lindsay. So a big play there from Fiedler, but the count now even at 2-all. It's Gunther at the plate, 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. Looking for his first hit of the series. Two finds the left shoulder of Gunther, and now the bases are loaded for Eastern Mennonite. Coming into this inning, Potts had not issued a free pass, but after having Tricarico fly out to center, it's been a walk to Solomon and a hit batter against Gunther. That now has the bases loaded for the Royals. Chance to strike while the iron's hot, but looking to cool that is associate head coach Travis Beasley coming out of the third base dugout. And we'll have a quick chat with Zach Potts, looking to settle down. Right-handed starter. Potts, be noted, has had his struggles, specifically over his last 7 appearances during the regular season. And looking to get his junior season back on track. Fortunate part about where he is, despite you never want to put yourself in a bases loaded jam, especially with less than 2 outs in an inning, but at least you're going against 7, 8, and then 9, this portion of the order. But you're looking to handle business against 7 hitter Gage Riddick and then Ethan Spraker, the man on deck, unless we get a double play. And I'm sure that's part of the conversation. Coach Beasley talking it over with Potts. Corners play even with the bag for the Hornets. Middle infield at double play depth. Riddick steps into the box. He's 0 for 1 with the fly out to center. Now with the stage set, it's 1-0 count to start. Pitch from Potts, letter high. Moves the count to 1-1. Catch you up to date. Some of the scores from around the rest of the league. Bottom fifth, Roanoke leads the 3-seed Randolph-Macon 4-1, looking to close that series out with a win in Game 2. And Hampton-Sydney Shenandoah in the top of the first, scoreless between the Tigers and the Northern Hornets. 1-1, slapped the other way, and out of play. A strikeout here would do wonders for Potts. And it's always an interesting battle in the mind of a pitcher. When you know a hitter's trying to make a play, sometimes climb the ladder with a fastball is the best way to go. Try to get him overzealous. Then to see if Potts goes that direction. We've also seen him rely heavily on that slider and strikeout opportunities. Fiedler sets up on the outside corner. That's where the pitch goes. Potts evades the bat of Riddick and gets strikeout number 3 to his day and a much-needed second out to the home half of the fourth. Here it is again. Riddick, a beat behind it. Now it's Ethan Spraker. Taspa coming through in the RBI chance for Eastern Mennonite. Spraker 1 for 1, had a leadoff single last inning, was then caught stealing, trying to move to second. First pitch, nubbed off the end of the bat, picked up by Jorman, who takes it to the bag himself. Each team has now squandered a bases loaded with less than 2 out opportunity as Spraker grounds out 3 unassisted, and Potts makes it 4 consecutive scoreless innings of work. We step aside and come back with the top of the 5th. Lynchburg leads EMU 2-0.
I wanted to be a physical therapist probably starting about halfway through college. I love the concept that exercise is medicine. You know, we're starting to discover that exercise really can remedy many of the things that we thought that only surgery or only drugs could remedy in the past. When the student comes here, it's because we believe in them, it's because we want them here, it's because we believe they'll be successful. The faculty here are devoted to their development, not only academically but also professionally. We're not so inundated with things that we don't have time to make students one of our highest priorities. We have your back. We're gonna help you through that. If you're willing to work, then we're willing to put the work into it and the effort to help you succeed.
At the University of Lynchburg, we've lowered our tuition, so you get a better value for a great education. Come see our campus for yourself.
Garrett Jackson will lead things off in inning number 5. Adrian Abon stays out on the mound and starts the 5th inning with a hit batter, his 3rd player he's plunked this afternoon. Here it is again. Jackson becomes the 99th hit by a pitch this year for Lynchburg as a team. And that brings Avery Neves to the plate. 1 for 1, also drawn a walk. And this appearance marks the longest of the season since the first stint this year for Abod. Neves beat out in front of the first pitch he got. Has to go foul directly into the left field corner. 0-1 count to start. Talk more about Abod. 4 innings, 6 strikeouts back on February 19th. Just 2 hits surrendered. Today, EMU asking him, stretch out the arm. We do still have the left-handed pitcher, Brandon Barrett, up and throwing in the Royals bullpen. And that might be someone they're trying to set up for PJ Alvanos, who's the man on deck right now for Lynchburg, trying to set up the left-on-left situation. Purely speculation, but could be the play for Coach Posey and crew. Abod set the belt, the 1-1. Comes inside and hits the helmet of Neves. 4th hit batter today for Adrian Abod. Here it is again. Obviously scary anytime it's in that head neck area. Neves does appear to be okay. He's talking it over with Oscar Garcia up the first base line. Does look like he's going to stay in the game as the catcher Ray Tricarico out to the mound, trying to settle down the starter Abod. As 2 runners are on. And no outs currently for Lynchburg.
Now batting, second baseman, number 18, PJ Alvanos.
And it's been 5 runners left on through the last 2 innings. If you branch that out and include the 2-run second inning for Lynchburg, it's 6 runners left on through the last 3 chances at the plate. Looking to change that. Zabod will face Alvanos. Second baseman shows bunt, gets it up the third base line, picked up by Gunther. The throw to first is in time, but the sacrifice does its job. 13th sacrifice bunt this year for Lynchburg. Jackson up to third. Neves advances the second.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 15.
And ultimately, if you were to ask me, I like that play coming from Coach Jones or Alvanos, whoever decided to move forward with the sack bunt play, just because Lynchburg has left those runners on through each of the last 2 innings. Now you're forcing the Royals infield to play in with Gavin Collins, who's been swinging as well as anybody at the plate. Collins does watch the first pitch in for a strike. Gavin Collins, one of the 3 players yesterday for Lynchburg with a home run. It was Neves, Collins, then O'Donovan with the final. Collins here, though, trails in the count 0-2. To finish my point, though, sometimes that small ball play is just a nice catalyst to wake up the offense, especially with runners on. You force your team to break through it. And then by bringing the infield in for the Royals, it's a play you kind of have to make at this point in the game and where you are this season. The 0-2 misses outside, but it also makes it that much easier. If Collins puts one hard on the ground, the reaction time, the amount of ground you can cover has slimmed down exponentially. Oh, a strikeout, really the goal in mind here for Abod. 1-2 on its way, cut on and missed. Abod gets that strikeout, his 6th of the afternoon. And it'll be a trip out to the mound as Josh Jorman is ready to step into the box. And it'll be a pitching change made by Eastern Mennonite, calling on the southpaw. Brandon Barrett will come out of the pen. We will step aside and come back, give you all the numbers. Little left-handed arm coming on in relief for Eastern Mennonite. The Royals looking to keep it at a 2-0 score. You're watching Eastern Mennonite in Lynchburg on LHSN.
When creating a sustainable future, your choices matter, even your choice of a college. The University of Lynchburg is the first college in Virginia to go carbon neutral. Our dining hall is Green Restaurant certified. We compost all of our food waste and purchase our electricity from landfill gas. Now we're turning a hazardous lake into a thriving urban wetland. When you choose Lynchburg, you leave a smaller footprint while building a better tomorrow.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and road course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
The 5'7" left-handed arm and senior from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Brandon Barrett comes out of the pen in relief for Adrian Abod, who is responsible for the 2 runners on. At this point has given up 2 runs, one of which is earned. But Barrett comes on in relief, tasked with setting down Josh Jorman and getting us through the top of the 5th inning at a 2-0 score. Meanwhile, the Hornets first baseman looking for runs of insurance for Lynchburg. Obviously hit the outfield, scores Jackson from third, and Neves with 2 down, running on contact, more than likely scores from second as well. For Barrett, it was a 10-10 ERA during the regular season. This becomes his 16th appearance, 10th out of the bullpen. He's thrown a team-high 41 innings this year, 33 strikeouts to 29 walks, so certainly a labored arm. And a spot where EMU looking to prolong their season. Makes total sense to call on a crafty lefty, set up a left-on-left situation. It's a 2-0. Breaking ball, clips the inside corner to make it 2-1. Meanwhile, we've talked about Barrett at the other end of this battle. Josh Jorman, 1 for 1. Also had an RBI sac fly back in the second. Breaking pitch, Jorman even holds the bat, showcasing he didn't go around. The count grows to 3 balls and a strike. Jorman reaches, the man on deck is Holden Fiedler. (3-1). Curveballs high and inside. 5-pitch walk to start the afternoon for Barrett. First walk issued by the lefty, 3rd overall for the EMU pitching staff, and we'll take this opportunity as Fiedler steps to the batter's box. We'll give you what the line is currently for Adrian Abod. It was 4 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, 2 walks, 4 hit batters, and 6 strikeouts for Abod. Through his near 5 innings worth of work, should be noted, season high, 4 2/3 innings pitched for the right-handed starter. Now the base is loaded for a second time this afternoon for Lynchburg, and the first pitch to Fiedler is in for strike 1. Fiedler's gone 0 for 2, the strikeout and a fly out to center. 0-1. Rolled up to short. Lindsey picks it up on a hop. The throw to first in time for out number 3, and Fiedler grounds out. Another bases loaded, squandered opportunity. Now 8 runners left on for Lynchburg of the last 3 chances at the plate. Barrett gets us through the jam, keeps us at 2-0. We'll step aside and come back home after the 5th. Hornets lead the Royals 2-0.
At the University of Lynchburg, we've lowered our tuition, so you get a better value for a great education. Come see our campus for yourself.
Zach Potts retakes the mound in Eastern Mennonite after navigating through another bases-loaded jam that the Hornets worked themselves into in the top half of this inning. It's EMU with a chance to turn that momentum into some offense. 9-1-2 coming to the plate. Logan Mason will lead things off, and he'll serve as a secondary leadoff bat of sorts, and that's becoming a more and more common trend in the game of baseball. You'll put your best hitter in the 2 spot, and you'll try to use that 9-hole hitter as a way to leapfrog back into the top of the lineup, create up RBI chances for those at the top of the order. And Mason, 0 for 1 today. Come through in a big spot, serve as that catalyst, potential run-scoring inning for the Royals. Only trailing 2-0. And again, I go back to yesterday's game, 7-0 at the end of 2, but then completely scoreless through innings 3, 4, and 5. Mason, hot shot back to Potts, off of his glove. Alvenos picks it up, the throw to first in time. Your just ordinary 1-4-3 put out becomes the first out, home half the 5th. Great job for Alvenos at second, and that is a demoralizing play there for EMU. That's a single where feels like it's destined to make its way back up the middle and give you a base runner and a chance to hit the scoring column for the first time today. Instead, there's one down on the top of the lineup. Steps to the plate. Jordan Jones, 1 for 2. So far today, the hit came his last time up in the 3rd. Potts, perfect pitch in the outside corner, now leads the count 0-2. Speaking of bases loaded jams, EMU had the bases loaded last inning, and Potts was able to set down Gage Riddick with a strikeout, then Ethan Spraker via the ground out to first to navigate through the jam and hold the Royals without a run through 4. Now a 3rd time through the lineup card. This is really where the challenge sets in for Zach Potts. He misses inside, and the count is even at 2-2. Skied on the left side of the infield. It'll make its way into left field. Raging towards the line, Gavin Collins calls off Jackson and makes a catch to retire Jones for out number 2.
Now batting, center fielder number 24, Jaylon Lee.
Jaylon Lee 0 for 2. Grounded out to 3rd. Struck out his last time up. Potts misses off the outside corner. Coming into this afternoon, Lee hitting .392 on the season. D-best 10 home runs. And coming into the series, second in the conference in total bases, trailing just Avery Neves in that category. Hitters count. Potts with another miss, down and away. If Lee reaches, Brett Lindsey's the man on deck. If anybody's got the green light 3-0, it's Lee. Does take a swing here. Skies it out of play. Potts looking for his first 1-2-3 innings since all the way back in the 1st. Comes in on the hands of Lee. Fights it off to left. Neves charges in. Lays out. Makes the grab. What can Avery Neves do? Here it's a diving grab for out number 3. Potts with a perfect home half of the 5th inning sends us to the top of the 6th. Lynchburg ahead 2-0. You're watching the Royals and the Hornets on LHSN.
This video isn't about me. It's about the limitless possibilities that the University of Lynchburg allows me to be. An athlete, an artist, an adventurer, a writer, a believer, human. Because what I love about the University of Lynchburg is that they have a saying, here we're home. And honestly though, I think a better fit would be a home for everyone. Because it doesn't matter the color of your skin, the person you love, the God you pray to, the pronouns you use, the city you're from, the language you speak. University of Lynchburg gives you the greatest opportunity they can for you to be the absolute best version of yourself.
When creating
Top of the 6th inning, staying out on the bump is Brendan Barrett, his first full inning of work potentially. And he'll start off top of the 6th, taking on Carson Atkins. It's 9-1-2 scheduled to plate for Lynchburg, just as it was for EMU. In the bottom of the 5th inning, which was capped off with that stellar diving grab made by Avery Neves. Complete a 1-2-3 inning of work for Zach Potts. Brendan Barrett looking for something similar. Trying to keep it at a 2-0 score. Keep the door ajar for the Royals to make the comeback and force a game 3. 1-1. Dots up on the outside corner to make it 1-2. Atkins went 3 for 5 yesterday, but this afternoon 0 for 2 with the strikeout and a ground out. Breaking ball just below the knees. Count even at 2-0. Fastball, high and outside. Count now full. Atkins goes down looking. Paint job from Barrett becomes the first out to the 6th. Second time Atkins has gone down on strikes this afternoon, and that has been his main issue to combat during the course of the season. And here it's Barrett. His first punch out of the day. Now sees the top of the lineup and left-handed hitter Cam Lane. Curveball low and away. Lane's gone 1 for 2. When last we saw him, he was hit by a pitch. He was the second of eventually 4 hit batters at the hand of Adrian Abad. 1-0. Clips the outside corner to make it 1-1. So going back in the regular season, it was 4 consecutive appearances for Barrett, surrendering at least 2 earned runs. Or I beg your pardon, 3 of his final outings. He issued 3 or more earned runs and gave up 2 or more earned runs in 4 of his final 5 appearances. But his very last stint in the regular season, 3 innings at Roanoke, game 2 of a doubleheader, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Before that, an inning at Shenandoah, gave up 7 earned runs. And that's, you look at those 2 appearances, what really inflates an ERA up and above 10 for somebody who has been used so much. A couple of those rocky appearances will be all you need. Life of a reliever can certainly be an unfulfilling one. One bad stint and all your stats are out of whack. 3-1. Up and inside, and Cam Lane has history repeat itself. He is hit by a pitch once more. First hit batter by Barrett, 5th in total by the Royals pitching staff, and you lump that together with the walks, and it becomes 8 free passes given up by the Royals pitching staff today, and just one of those stats where you're going to give Lynchburg that many free base runners. Eventually, they're going to put up more than 2 on the board, but that's where the Lynchburg Hornets stand right now as Webster to the plate. Takes the first pitch off the outside corner. Last nugget on Barrett I wanted to make mention here. He did have an appearance in the doubleheader against Lynchburg back on March 26th. 2/3 of an inning, 8 earned runs, 3 walks, no strikeouts in game 1. And you look at that Swept doubleheader for Lynchburg. 16-8 win in game 1, 13-6 in game 2. Tack on the 18-0 win yesterday, as Barrett will make the throw to first. It is a 47-14 advantage for Lynchburg this year against EMU. Now this game is obviously played a lot closer. That's a welcome sign as Lane in motion. Webster chops it foul towards the Hornets dugout. But to finish my point, if you're an EMU fan, this is as close as you've been all year long. This is your time to collect the first win of the season against the Hornets. And, of course, again, back against the wall. If you don't win, your season comes to a close. This is a chance to prolong it and force a game 3. Barrett's set, the 1-2, slap the other way. We saw Lane in motion a moment ago, 10 for 11 stolen base attempts this season. The only person to throw him out is the man behind the plate now, Ray Tricarico. Another 1-2. Left well up and out of the zone. Breaking pitch. Nicked out of the glove of Tricarico. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. High chopper to third. Makes its way on the other side of the chalk. The battle continues between Webster and Barrett. So far today, the Lynchburg right fielder's gone 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts. And also popped out behind the plate back in the 3rd inning. Nice play made by Tricarico. Webster underneath it. Skies it to right with a beat on it. Jones makes a catch. And there's 2 away. Barrett looking to make it 4 consecutive scoreless innings against this Lynchburg offense. Garrett Jackson 0 for 1. Also drawn a walk and been hit by a pitch. Barrett, a product of Ocean Lakes High School, perennial powerhouse in just about every sport in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Backdoor breaking ball for the southpaw. Moves the count to 1-1. Not a very large lead for Lane at first. Jackson drives the other way. Waiting is Jones, who makes the grab for out number 3. Lane left on over at first. It's the minimum +1 in the first full inning of work for Brendan Barrett. We'll step aside and come back with a home half of the 6th. The Royals still looking to get themselves in the scoring column. 2-0 Lynchburg leads Eastern Mennonite.
My name is Joshua Carr. I am a senior. I am a theater major as well as a history minor. I live in 5th Street, the historic black neighborhood. The money came in, transfer, scholarship, all that. I appreciate that greatly. I'm smart too. So they gave it like, you smart, here. You know what I'm saying? You come here to do a job. I came here to do a job. A student's job is to get that degree and make something of ourselves. I love the diversity here. I love the different interests of people here. I can teach somebody that doesn't know what I know, and that person can teach me something that I don't know that they know. So that's what I love about my school. They respect that and they allow us to showcase and voice our expressions. That's what you get here. You get diversity, you get different people with different knowledge coming together, sharing information and helping each other out. That's what I love. That's why I say people. I love the people here.
Brett Lindsay will lead things off. He'll then be followed by Ray Tricarico, then Natty Solomon, as EMU still looking to get in the scoring column. Trailed 2-0. Home half the 6th inning, and Zach Potts stays out on the mound for the Hornets. To where we are now, Potts thrown 71 towards the plate. Is currently in line for the win. Has 3 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Starts out inning number 6. The pitch missing up and inside. Muncie to where we are now, 1 for 2. The hit came his last time up. Jumped all over the first pitch he got. Sent it out to left field. Looking to emulate something similar here. Serving as leadoff man once again. Chopped high. It'll stay fair. Jackson from the back foot. Strong throw across the infield for out number 1.
Now batting, pitcher number 10, Ray Tricarico.
Tricarico 0 for 2 today. Catcher has popped down to short, flown out to center. Show you this play here from Jackson one more time, and that's such an underrated play because in the box score, that's just a 5-3 put out. But the ability for Jackson to be able to, one, we've seen players struggle finding the baseball in the sky, so that in and of itself is challenging, but then be able to adjust, take a step back, and deliver a missile from the back foot against a pretty solid, speedy runner in Brett Lindsay. That's a really underrated play. That just looks like a normal ground out. So had to shine some love in the direction of Garrett Jackson. It's a 1-2 count now for Tricarico. Potts eyeing his 4th potential strikeout. 1-2, slapped into the screen. One for 3 afternoon yesterday for Tricarico, so 1 for 5 in total this series. Waits on the 1-2, watches it miss up and above the letters. Counts 2-2. Letter high. Tricarico can't lay off this one. Potts has strikeout number 4 and out number 2. His 6th inning of work. 7 in a row retired by Potts. Here's the strikeout again. You go back to the pitch right before that. Little 2 up and out of the zone. That's a fine line to walk as a pitcher because you leave it in the zone and high, that has hit me written all over it. But if you go too far out of the zone, it's just not believable. You're not getting your hitter antsy, ready to jump on it. Thinking they see something with hit me written all over it. But there, Potts finds that middle ground and picks up his 4th strikeout. Solomon yet to be retired today. It's a single and a walk this afternoon. And it's a called strike, knee high. Move the count to 0-2. Potts looking to make it 8 in a row retired. Slider drops off the outside corner. Atkins in center field, shading towards the opposite field side in right center. Grounder to Jackson at third. Another strong throw across the diamond. Makes its way to Jormund. Another 5-3 put out. Good for out number 3 on this occasion, and it completes the 2nd consecutive perfect frame tossed by Zach Potts, who has retired 8 in a row in the EMU order. We'll step aside, come back. Top of the 7th, Lynchburg leads the Eastern Mennonite Royals 2-0.
biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover."
Top of the 7th sees Avery Neves lead things off. Then it's Alvenos and Collins scheduled to the plate. Brendan Barrett quickly into the windup. First pitch to his second inning of work is a pitch in the zone for a called strike. Top of the 7th underway now as the southpaw into the windup. Misses down and outside. And if Barrett's able to set down Neves, Alvenos, Collins 1, 2, 3. He will avoid seeing the lineup for a second time over as Josh Dorman, who would be the fourth hitter up this inning, was the first to see the lefty come out of the pen. And it was the minimum +1 in his first full frame of work. He hit Cam Lane, but that was the lone runner to reach. The 1-2 from Barrett, high and outside. The only 2 runs we've seen so far come all the way back in the top of the 2nd. It was Neves scoring on a wild pitch. RBI sac fly from Josh Dorman plating Alvenos. And that's been it. And even in the hits department, we talked about the bottom half last inning. Zach Ponce has retired 8 in a row. The last hit for Lynchburg came all the way back in the 3rd. Rolled foul at the third base line. We'll do it again at 3-2. Now Lynchburg has had base runners since the 3rd. And looking back at my score sheet, it was actually a leadoff single for Josh Dorman in the 4th. That was the last hit. Since then, we've seen 4 players hit by a pitch and a walk. But no base knocks. Another payoff pitch. Just off the outside corner, and it's a leadoff walk for Avery Neves. Neves has touched the base paths all 4 times he's come to the plate. That's the 2nd walk he's drawn today. And he is on at first. 11 for 15 on stolen base attempts, and certainly a threat to take off and test the arm of Tricarico behind the plate. Just the 2nd walk issued by Barrett. And Alvenos now to the plate. Gone 1 for 2. Last time we saw Alvenos was a sacrifice bunt up the third base line. Setting up 2 runners on, just 1 out. RBI chances for Gavin Collins and company. Collins didn't win down on strikes. Josh Dorman drew a walk to load the bases, and it was Holden Fiedler grounding out 6-3. And that was the 2nd bases loaded chance that Lynchburg let go by the wayside. And it capped off a 3-inning stretch where 8 runners were left on. And, you know, there's only one number that could make that worse, and that would be stranding 9 over the course of 3 innings. So certainly not how Coach Jones would have drawn it up, especially with his team playing in a close one this afternoon. Those runs of insurance certainly would have added a different complexion to this one. 1-2, Alvenos goes down swinging. Brendan Barrett with his 2nd strikeout on the afternoon. And now with 1 on, 1 down, it's Gavin Collins. Step to the plate, 0 for 2, also been hit by a pitch. But where I've talked about Lynchburg leaving runners on, I mean, a ton of credit to the starter, Adrian Abon. He may have gotten himself into trouble, but every inning but the 2nd, he's able to work himself out. Neves in motion. Not a clean transfer from Tricarico, and it's a stolen base. 12th of the season for Neves, who now stands in scoring position. Putting a bow on this point, Abon did a great job navigating through the jams he might have created for himself, and then Brendan Barrett called on the pen to do something similar in the 5th. Collins turns on the breaking ball. Deep left field. but foul. Allowed strike one, moves the count to a ball and a strike. Shortstop looking for his first hit today, and with Neves at second, may well give Lynchburg the run of insurance they've been looking for since back in the second. Fouled off the end of the bat. Count now 1-2. Leg kick, backdoor breaking ball, and a beautiful one at that. Brennan Barrett freezes Collins, makes it consecutive strikeouts, and there's now 2 away.
Now batting, first baseman number 25.
And you could not have asked for a better pitch placement there from Brennan Barrett. A pitch that nice, you got to see it twice. Here it is one more time. Outside corner, knee high. That's textbook. So now is an RBI opportunity for Josh Jorman, looking for his second ribby of the day. Front door breaking ball, and a called strike one. One for one afternoon so far for Jorman. It was a single in the fourth, sac fly in the second, walk in the fifth to make up his day at the plate. Left-on-left matchup. To this point, Barrett hit Lane, struck out Alvenos. And Jordan becomes the first person to see him twice. In their first meeting, that's when Jordan drew the walk. So it's been a mixed bag in these left-on-left spots for Barrett. We're going to come through in a big spot here. A 1-2 count. Chance for the senior. Make it 3 consecutive punch-outs. 1-2. Sky to right. Ranging back. Jones has a beat on it and makes the grab for out number 3. Leadoff walk and a stolen base for Avery Neves squandered as he's left on at second. Back-to-back strikeouts against Alvenos and Collins in the flyout from Jorman, and Brendan Barrett keeps Lynchburg out of the scoring column, and it stays 2-0 as we step aside and come back. Home half the 7th. The Royals will send 6, 7, 8 to the dish.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Good crowd on hand as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a beautiful afternoon for baseball, right around mid-60s in regards to the temperature. Sun is out, not a cloud to be seen. And Zach Potts retaking the mound. He's thrown 84 towards the plate and getting set for inning number 7 of action. Starts with a pitch fouled off the end of the bat by Robert Gunther. Third baseman 0 for 1, also been hit by a pitch after Gunther. We'll see Gage Riddick, then Ethan Spraker. The 0-1 misses away. I have good word. Intel coming in. There has been a lemur sighting in the Lynchburg bullpen. And once you get to the 7th inning, he's game to make an appearance, and it's almost back to the 2015 Royals and how much they used their bullpen, and they would basically shorten baseball games into 5-inning stints, and Grayson Thurman does that by himself almost. You get to the 7th, and it feels like games can be done. And if you're an EMU fan, that is not the news you wanted to hear. With Thurman starting to get loose in the pen, he may be making an appearance any moment now. Especially with Potts' pitch count now at 88, may see him this inning. 2-2. High and inside to make it a full count. Gunther was the last man to reach at the hand or against Zach Potts. 3-2. Sent towards right center. Working against Atkins, who lays out. Another stellar defensive play we've seen this series from Lynchburg. Gunther robbed of the hit and becomes the 9th consecutive man set down by Potts. We saw Gavin Collins make a couple of stellar plays. We saw a diving grab from Avery Neves earlier today. Now it's Carson Atkins getting in on the fun and retiring Gunther for the first out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Gage Riddick, the next man up. He's 0 for 2. First pitch swinging, slider, skied out of play. And as good as the starting pitching we've seen this weekend has been stellar. You get 8 innings yesterday out of Nick Matfield with less than 90 pitches thrown. Stellar showing there. Zach Potts has been as good as we've seen him pretty much all season long. But, man, your job as a pitcher becomes so much easier when your defense is seemingly everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. 1-1 on its way. Just below the knees to make it 2 balls and a strike. And really, that fly out from Gunther and that play from Atkins harkens me back to what I was mentioning earlier on a fly out coming from Ray Tricarico in the 4th. Atkins, for his defense alone, is an everyday starter. High chopper to first. Jorman Fields takes it to the bag. Himself and Riddick down for the 3rd time today.
Now batting, second baseman, number 11, Ethan Spraker.
And it's now 10 consecutive retired by Zach Potts. Yeah, I'd say he's in a groove. He takes on Ethan Spraker for a 3rd time, who's 1 for 2. (1-0). Skied. Foul right field side. Fielder sets up on the outside corner. Potts fires knee high and gets a called strike 2. Chance for the Lynchburg starter. Ground punch out number 5. In on the hands. Fought off. Do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Potts will step off the rover, take a moment. A pitch away from making it 3 consecutive 1-2-3 innings. The 1-2 popped up just behind second base. Collins with a beat on it makes the grab, and it is indeed 3 consecutive 1-2-3 innings delivered by Zach Potts, and make it 11 in a row retired in the Royals order. We're through 7, stepping aside, come back with the top of the 8th inning. Lynchburg looking for runs of insurance. Hornets lead the Royals 2-0. Top of the 8th inning. Holden Fiedler, Carson Atkins, and Cam Lane schedule the plate. Lynchburg ahead 2-0. Looking for insurance. And it's a new pitcher on the mound for Eastern Mennonite. John Sawyers comes out of the pen. But it's another left-handed arm. Sawyer's a little taller at 6 foot, a junior from Chesapeake, Virginia. Went to Atlantic Shores Christian High School. Starts his afternoon delivering a strike on the outside portion of the plate to Fiedler. And for Sawyers, 11th appearance of the season, just the 3rd coming out of the bullpen. So a little bit of a different look here for Sawyers, who has a team best ERA at 3.55 and evades the bat of Fiedler to make it 0-2. That was a 3.55 ERA through 38 innings tossed, 48 strikeouts to 15 walks, and then opponents hitting .228 against. Fiedler goes down. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And a resounding start to the day for Sawyers. 3 pitches, all he needs to set down the first man he faces. And as Carson Atkins steps to the plate, let's remind you what he did. Bottom half of last inning, the defensive effort certainly put on display. And where 25% of the earth is covered by land, the other 75% covered by Carson Atkins. If you're familiar with these broadcasts, I've overused that one over the last couple of weeks, so I do apologize, but Atkins backing up my point. Here he trails in the count, 0-1. He's gone 0 for 3 to where we are now. Fastball powered past him. The count now at 0-2. The 0-2, cut on and missed, held on by Tricarico, and it's consecutive strikeouts on just 6 pitches for John Sawyers.
Now back, DH number 34, Cam Lane.
The transfer from Division I Southeast Missouri State coming in and picking up right where Brendan Barrett left off. And in a position to make it a 1-2-3 start to his afternoon as he deals first pitch breaking ball in for a strike to Lane, but also would make 6 in a row set down in the Lynchburg order. Lane has reached each of his last 3 times up, 1 for 2 in total, been hit by a pitch. Last 2 times we've seen him at the plate. Breaking ball, cut on and missed, and Sawyers a strike away from making it 3 consecutive punch-outs. The 0-2, down and away. We won't have an immaculate inning. But Sawyers, nonetheless, been very impressive here in this appearance. His last appearance of the regular season, 2 innings in Game 1 of a doubleheader at Roanoke, 6-5 win. It was 3 strikeouts to 1 walk. Before that, 3 1/3 in Game 1 at Randolph-Macon, 5 strikeouts to 3 walks. Here, the 1-2, paints the inside corner. On 10 pitches, John Sawyers strikes out the side and makes it 6 in a row, set down in the Lynchburg order. We step aside and return with a Lemur taking over on the mound. When we come back, we'll have the bottom of the 8th and 9-1-2 taking on Grayson Thurman from Fox Field.
Look what you're missing.
Grayson Thurman takes over on the mound for Lynchburg. A 1.98 ERA through a conference best 23 appearances, a 2-0 record. A league-leading 11 saves. That's top 3 in the country, by the way. 50 innings tossed, 87 strikeouts to 11 walks, and opponents hitting 188 against Grayson Thurman. And here the senior takes on Logan Mason, Jordan Jones, Jalen Lee in the 8th. And we'll try to get save number 12 of the year with the 6-out variety. This marks the end of the day for Zach Potts, and boy, did he end the day on a strong note. We'll get you his final line in just a moment. Thurman set. First pitch to Mason. Popped up. Goes up and over the first base dugout. Mason, by the way, 0 for 2 to where we are to this point in the game. A strikeout, and then he grounded into the 1-4-3. Ground out. Back in the 5th. Another pitch fouled away by Logan Mason. Count now 0-2. The 0-2 misses high. (12-6) again misses up and out of the zone. Count even at 2-2. The finalized line for Potts, by the way, 7 innings tossed. He's in line for the win, and it's a quality start for Potts. 4 hits issued, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for the Lynchburg starter. 2-2, cut on and miss. Thurman's got his first strikeout of the day. Thurman has a strikeouts per 9 north of 16. And he's got number 1 on the afternoon as the lineup card turns over for a 3rd time. Jordan Jones, 1 for 3 at the plate so far. The hit for Jones comes back in the 3rd. First pitch, curveball, knee high, and a called strike. Back to the 12-6. This time Thurman leaves it off the outside corner. Lynchburg defense plays straight away. (1-1) down in the dirt. And Thurman more than comfortable in pitching these high leverage spots. In Game 3 of the championship series last year against Shenandoah, how about 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, only 2 hits issued, and perhaps the biggest game of his collegiate career, certainly to that point. But even still, even with retrospect, maybe the biggest moment in his collegiate career. So he is certainly comfortable pitching in these big game settings. 3-1 hits the elbow of Jones. The EMU dugout garnering some energy. First base side as Jones on at first. 1 on, 1 down now for Jalen Lee. And keep in mind, Lee leads away with 10 home runs. This EMU team. And he represents the tying run at the plate. Here's the hit batter one more time. Would have been ball 4 regardless. So one way or another, it was a free pass to Jones, who's on at first with an abundance of speed. Lee pops up the first pitch he gets. Alvenos at second. Calls for it, makes the grab for out number 2. A massive second out, especially with Jones' speed over at first. 18 of 21 on stolen base attempts. This allows you as a pitcher more freedom, flexibility to just focus on, in this case, Brett Lindsay at the plate. Thurman throws over. Back safely, though, is Jones. Another toss to first. Jones again slides in ahead of the throw. So now through 7 2/3 of today's baseball. 9 innings of shutout performance between Nick Matfield and Tommy Preston. All of that amounts to 16 2/3 worth of baseball with EMU at the plate and no runs to show for it. Lindsey can't catch up to the heater from Thurman. Count starts at 0-1. Royal shortstop, 1 for 3 with a single. Coming as the leadoff man in the 4th. 0-1. Chopped foul. Thurman looking for his second strikeout. But first, he'll keep Jones honest at first. Breaking ball, freezes Lindsey. Thurman has his second strikeout, and it's the minimum +1 in the first frame of work for the senior right-handed reliever. And it continues to be nothing but zeros next to the Eastern Mennonite line. We step aside, come back, top of the 9th. Hornets lead the Royals 2-0. Looking for insurance. You're watching the first round of the ODAC baseball tournament on LHSN.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the athletic training laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
Top of the 9th inning, Lynchburg been held scoreless since the top of the 2nd. It's Logan Webster looking to change that as the leadoff man this inning. After Webster, we'll see Garrett Jackson and then Avery Neves. John Sawyer stays out on the mound after a 1-2-3, striking out the side. Top of the 8th, lefty only threw 10 pitches in that inning. Set down Fiedler and Atkins on the first 6 he threw. And starts off inning number 9 with a couple of misses. Falls behind 2-0 to Webster. Right fielder 0 for 4 today. Pair of strikeouts, as well as a pop out behind the plate and a fly out to right. 2-0. Webster tries to jump on it. Swings through it instead. Make it 2-1. And this becomes a huge inning here for Sawyers. Got to keep it at 2-0. It's a 2-1. Waved at and missed. Evens the count at 2-all. And as much as we'll talk about Thurman looking to close it down in the bottom of the 9th, Sawyers, in a lot of ways, has to approach this as a close, save mentality in a lot of ways. Put up a 0 here, and you're, again, just keeping the door open a little longer. And not supposed to talk about cliches on a broadcast, but the cliche or age-old adage goes as the longer the underdog is in the fight, better their chances get. I'd certainly say that EMU has kept their hopes alive today, but Webster looking to diminish them in the top of the 9th. Big turnaround first. He'll hold there. Leadoff single for Logan Webster, his first hit of the day. Leadoff man on for Lynchburg. Jackson without a hit to where we are now, 0 for 2. Has drawn a walk and been hit by a pitch as well. Cheating up in front of the bag over at third is Gunther. Wouldn't anticipate the bunt play here, but it's certainly something you have to account for. Lynchburg has gone through the sacrifice route a couple times through the series so far. And it comes down to what you feel more comfortable with. Laying down the sacrifice, trying to set up a chance for Neves and Alvenos, or having your guys swing away against Sawyers. With this portion of the order, got a feeling Coach Jones wants to see Jackson and company swing it. Lefty set at the chest. Eyes the runner at first, then misses outside. Another miss off the outside part of the plate for Sawyers. Seeing the lefty reliever begin to labor here in his second inning of work. 3-0 goes to the breaking ball. Signals a ton of confidence in that curveball. Makes the count 3-1. Then back to the fastball, though, for Sawyers, and he misses, off the outside corner. Now 2 on, no outs. Avery Neves to the plate. First walk issued by Sawyers. Webster now the lead runner on in scoring position at second. Jackson behind him at first. Neves steps to the plate. We'll give you the finalized line for Brendan Barrett. 2 1/3 innings thrown. No hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. The senior reliever then gave way to Sawyers. First pitch to Neves. Breaking ball, high and outside. Back to the breaking pitch. Another miss, though, for Sawyers. And we'll have a trip out to the mound for Coach Bailey Hall. Have a break in the action as Coach Hall wants to talk with Sawyers. And it's tough navigating through this portion of the order, especially against a guy like Neves. Fall behind 2-0. And Neves has touched the base paths all 4 times he's come to the plate. It was a single in the second, then walk, hit by pitch, walk the next 3 times up. But Lynchburg has already squandered 2 bases loaded opportunities, and just law of numbers, you give them a third, more than likely they're going to come through, especially with no outs in the inning. So fine line to walk, knowing you have to throw at Avery Neves, but throwing to Avery Neves brings about a lot of risk in and of itself. So we'll see what the game plan is here for Tricarico behind the plate, as well as Sawyers on the bump. 2-0. Fastball. Down the heart of the plate, cut on and missed. And a called strike 2. That moves the count to an even state, 2-2. Sawyer's looking for his first out at the 9th inning. Neves looking to put Lynchburg back in the scoring column for the first time since the second. The 2-2. Misses low. Full count. 2 on with no outs. Payoff pitch is in the dirt. Third bases loaded opportunity of the day for Lynchburg. Can the Hornets break through? Second walk this inning given up by Sawyers. And it's PJ Alvenos looking to come through with the RBI spot. 1 for 3 today. Has also laid down a sacrifice bunt. The hit came back in the second. He also came around to score in that inning. And Webster has good speed over at third. With the infield playing in, it would need to be a fly ball to the outfield. Doesn't need to be overly deep with Webster's speed, however. But something in the air has to be the focus here for Alvenos. Breaking ball. Deemed that it missed the zone. It's a 1-0 count to start. Same pitch. This time a called strike. This is exactly the situation where Alvenos is in this part of the lineup card for a reason. He serves as that insurance, that protection policy behind Neves. And Eastern Mennonite ultimately put Neves on with a walk, and Alvenos comes through in his role. Punches it to center field. 2-run score. The Lynchburg lead doubled with one swing of the bat. PJ Alvenos makes it 4-0. Hornets ahead of the Royals.
Now batting, shortstop, number 15, Gavin.
Neves moves up to second. Alvenos aboard at first. And looking to keep the inning going. Collins fouls off the first pitch curveball. Lynchburg shortstop, 0 for 3, also been hit by a pitch. I mean, 2 runs already across. I can assure you the man with the biggest smile in that Lynchburg dugout right now is number 24, Grayson Thurman. Breaking ball, well out of the zone. Count now 1-1. And the run support here, top of the 9th, makes the job for Thurman a little simpler. Maybe a little less stress-inducing as well. Once we get to the bottom half this inning, runners take off. They're going to rule batter's interference against Collins and send the runners back, I believe.
2 unassisted, I think.
So with the batter's interference, Collins becomes the second out of the inning. And the runners will head back to their respective bags. Here's a look at it again. Collins didn't have sure footing and ultimately leaned out in front of the catcher, Tricarico. And now Coach Lucas Jones comes out of the dugout. Will voice his displeasure. And of course, some of the challenges with making this ruling is who's out, who moves up, who doesn't, et cetera, et cetera. Show you it again one more time. Collins steps out on the plate. Once you get there, yeah, that's going to be batter's interference. So the conversation now almost certainly revolves around Neves and Alvenos, the runners on the base paths, and where they might go. And as we wait, of course, what's on the line? Lynchburg, they can hold on, advance. The continuation of the ODAC postseason tournament, which continues into next weekend. And it would be Lynchburg taking on the lowest seed that advances. And their first game be on Friday at 4 o'clock. Meanwhile, if EMU is able to overcome the 4-run deficit and force a game 3, they would do just that, live to fight one more game, and then at winner-go-home setting, anything is live. They will send Neves back to second. There's one away in the inning. It's Josh Jorman, the next man up. 1 for 2 today. He flew out to right field when last we saw him. Jorman also has an RBI sac fly. He scored the second of 2 runs, crossing the top of the second. Sawyer, after a long pause, has the signs from Tricarico. Tries to go front door breaking ball. Misses the zone. And you saw even just a couple hitters ago, Sawyer's comfortability attacking the inside corner. He's left on left spots. It was just Alvanos, just enough strength to push it into center. And it might take something similar here from Jorman. One, cut on and missed to move the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Tricarico sets up in the outside corner. That's where the fastball goes. Jorman gets just enough of it. Lives to see another pitch. Barring a double play, Holden Fiedler's the man on deck for Lynchburg. Both runners take off. 1-2, curveball deposited into right field. Neves around third and will score with ease. Second RBI of the game for Josh Jorman, and this one makes it 5-0 Lynchburg. So same spot for Lynchburg. 2 runners on, just 1 out in the inning. But now a 5-0 difference. Fiedler looking for his first hit. He was the first to face Sawyer's last inning. Went down on strikes. Chases the first pitch here. Trails in the count 0-1. All told, Fiedler as well as Atkins, who's on deck, 0 for 4. For Fiedler, pair of strikeouts, fly out and a ground out to go with it. Swings through the 0-1, nicks it into the glove of Tricarico. Pitcher's count, the 0-2, waved at and missed. Back-to-back battles between Fiedler and Sawyer end on 3 pitches, with Sawyer coming out on top with the strikeout. 4th punch out of the game for the southpaw. And he'll look to do something similar against Carson Atkins. It was 3 pitches, all that was needed to retire Atkins' last inning. Overall, the 0 for 4 showing for Atkins today, with 3 strikeouts and a ground out to third. One-0, slapped out of play. So after 6 scoreless frames between innings 3 through 8, Lynchburg able to get back in the scoring column and more than double their lead. Atkins takes a strike. Pop throw up the first base line, in and out of the glove of Riddick. Back in time was Jorman anyways. The count now at 1-2. Chance for Sawyer. Set down Atkins via the strikeout in back-to-back innings. If Atkins were to reach Cam Lane, as you see on your screen, is the man in the on-deck circle. The 1-2 misses outside. Elevated fastball. Good take there from Atkins. And it's now a full count. The payoff pitch. Inside out swing. It'll go out of play and land adjacent to the EMU bullpen. Runners retreat back to their respective bases. We'll see another 3-2 pitch. Three-two. Sky to left. Back goes Mason. Foul ball. And a collective steep sigh from everyone on the EMU side. Atkins flirting with his potential third home run of the season. Big smile as he's back at the plate now. And we'll see another 3-2 pitch between Sawyers against Atkins. Sent to the screen. Let's do it again. Full count. Atkins looking to flip the lineup card over. Add on to the 3 runs already scored this frame for the Hornets. Meanwhile, Sawyer, all 3 runs charged to him in his ledger. We're going to hold the damage at that and make it just 5 runs worth of work for the EMU offense, who will send 3-4-5 to the plate. Atkins chops it to short, picked up by Lindsey. The throw to first in time for out number 3, but 8 step to the plate. 3 come across. 2 RBI single from P.J. Alvanos, and then another from Josh Jorman. Make it 5-0. Lynchburg ahead of Eastern Mennonite. We will step aside, and when we come back, it'll be Grayson Thurman toe-to-toe with 3-4-5 in the Royals order.
Hi, Mara Willis. How are you? Pretty good.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in.
Grayson Thurman eyeing his 12th save of the season. Takes on Ray Tricarico, Natty Solomon, and Robert Gunther. And if any reach, engage Riddick. The Royals down to potentially their final 3 outs of the season. Need a comeback in the bottom of the 9th. Keep their season alive. First pitch from Thurman. Down and away. Tricarico without a hit so far this afternoon. And in total over the course of the series, gone 1 for 6. Fastball sent to left, backpedaling Neves. Lays out, won't get to it, it'll roll all the way to the wall. Tricarico on his way to third. Slides in safely with a leadoff triple.
Now batting, the DH, number 23, Natty Solomon.
Natty Solomon now with the chance to give the Royals their first run of the series. Tricarico, that triple his first of the season, and his 8th extra base hit. First pitch, misses away. Solomon's gone 1 for 2, also drawn a walk. Sends this one into the screen. So an RBI spot for the DH. Lynchburg's defense is playing it honest, infield at regular depth, as is the outfield. 12-6, misses above the letters to make it 2 balls and a strike. And a spot makes all the sense in the world that Lynchburg would forfeit potential shutout opportunity for the sake of potentially garnering it out in exchange. 2-1, knee high. Count even at 2-all. Thurman set, the 2-2. Breaking ball. Just misses. And the count now 3-2. Alvenos in specific and at second. Thought it was strike 3. Instead, we'll see a full count. And the payoff pitch come from the hand of Thurman. Misses down and inside. After the triple from Tricarico, it's a walk issued to Solomon the second time. He's hit the base pass via the base on balls. First walk issued by Thurman. And with runners at the corners, Robert Gunther looking to take advantage. 0 for 2 today. Also been hit by a pitch. And we'll have a courtesy runner up the first base line. Over at 12, Drew Pettit is running for Solomon. So Pettit on at first. First pitch swinging. Gunther sends it to right. Webster with a beat on it, makes the catch adjacent to the right field line. His throw to the plate, a strong one. And backpedaling to third is Tricarico. Webster puts the howitzer on display. Of course, most importantly for Lynchburg fans, he makes the catch and there's one down. With one down, Gage Riddick returns to the plate 0 for 3. Doing a note, Pettit over at first, 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts. And you don't want to run into an out, but the opportunity to take away a season-ending double play feels tantalizing. Potentially pursue if you're a Royals fan. All it takes now is a serendipitous hop in the direction of Jackson through the rest of the infield. And a double play brings a close to the EMU season. Fastball, pump past Riddick. Count to 2-1. Same pitch, same result. Count even at 2-all. Thurman looking for his third strikeout of the day. Instead, it's fouled off by Riddick. Do it once more at 2 balls and 2 strikes. First baseman looking to battle. Another 2-2. Off the inside corner. And those in attendance starting to get antsy. Start to hear the chirps from the stands. Thurman has to lock in a 3-2. Sky to left. Neves underneath it. Fires it into the infield. Both runners tag and advance. Scoring is Tricarico. And in the 18th inning of the series, Eastern Mennonite finds the scoring column, and it's now a 5-1 contest.
Now batting, second baseman number 11, Ethan Spraker.
As I noted, Pettit does move up to second. Still a runner on in scoring position. Ethan Spraker 1 for 3. Watches the first pitch, breaking ball in for a strike. That run is just the 12th given up this year by Thurman. Speaks to how electric he's been this season. Righty fires, strike 2. And EMU down to their potential final strike of the season. The 0-2. Close miss for Thurman. But a miss nonetheless to make it 1-2. Thurman, breaking ball, freezes Spraker. And the senior has his 12th save of the season. And Lynchburg will play next Friday night at 4 o'clock, taking on the lowest seed of teams who advance to the second round of the ODAC postseason tournament with a 5-1 win in Game 2, and it's a sweep against the Royals, matching that of the regular season performance for the Hornets. Lynchburg 4 for 4 against Eastern Mennonite this season. Final notes, then we'll get you out of here for Eastern Mennonite. Obviously, it's tough to see the season come to a close, but it's a really exciting program to watch, and players coming back, and also really excited to see what the direction of head coach Adam Posey grows into leading this team forward. But you look at players like Jalen Lee, had a standout senior season. Hats off to the year he's put together. Second in the ODAC in total bases. Standout showing this past year. Same can be said about Jordan Jones, their leadoff man. And Brett Lindsay as well, another senior starter over at short. So fair amount of turnover for EMU, but an exciting future ahead under head coach Adam Posey. Meanwhile, for Lynchburg, the postseason run to make it back-to-back conference titles continues into next weekend. We don't know who Lynchburg will play, other than they'll play at 4 o'clock down in North Carolina at Truist Point on Friday evening. Who the Hornets will face, we have to wait and see, but Lynchburg will see you there. That'll do it for us at Fox Field. For my director, Sam Rice, the rest of our fantastic LHSN broadcast crew, my name's TJ Wingert, and until next time, we are signing off.